What's up guys, welcome back to another Gear Spotlight video. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite amps of all time, the Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier. Now, the Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier is one of the most iconic amps of all time, and it's been featured in tons of records, tons of bands use them, and it really helped shape the sound of skate punk and pop punk in the 90s. Bands like Blink-182, Millencolin, Strung Out, Lagwagon, Pennywise, you name it. All those bands used a rectifier both in studio and live. Now, this particular amp is special because it is the second to last revision that Mesa Boogie came up with before releasing what was called the Rev G. Now, the Rev G came out sometime in 93 and lasted all the way down to 99, early 2000s, and it was later replaced by the 3-channel version of the rectifier. In terms of sound, this amp sounds a little bit different. It's kind of in between the Rev G and the earlier models, which are considered to be the holy grail of rectifiers. Those were the Rev C, Rev D, and Rev E. And there's only about 500 of those amps ever made, so they're very rare, they're very highly collectible, and very expensive if you happen to see one used on eBay or Reverb. And the earlier models, when Mesa Boogie released the rectifier, it's been said that they were trying to compete with the Soldano SLO100, which at the time was the de facto kind of hard rock, heavy metal amp. So in terms of tone, those amps are said to be more aggressive sounding, brighter, tighter, and with time, Mesa continued to tinker with the sound and the design of the amp, and eventually settled with the Revision G, which sounds a lot darker, has more of a low-mid kind of tone, and that is the sound that we know when we talk about rectifiers. That is the sound. Now this one, like I said, it's a blend of those two designs, and you can't mistake the sound. I mean, it is a rectifier, but I feel that it is a little more organic sounding. It is a little bit tighter and indeed brighter, but essentially it sounds like a rectifier, but it's got a different flavor to it. One of the things that I want to note is that during that time, Mesa was using the Mark III transformers on all the rectifiers. I even think that they used a few of those transformers on early Rev G models, but I feel that is what really kind of makes the amp sound a little bit different. Obviously, the transformers are a very important part of the amplifier, so I think that is what the little changes that you hear in tone are, I think, mainly due to that, and other few components that they probably use. But other than that, it's really just your stock rectifier. It's got the same features as any other rectifiers. The only cool thing about it, which was a custom option at the time, and I actually think you can do that nowadays with modern rectifiers or any Mesa product, but it came with the black chrome plate, which I always liked, and the chrome chassis. So it's a very classic, kind of cool look. Also, your head shell was leather as opposed to other materials. But feature-wise, it's the same thing. You got your 2 channels, channel 1 being your vintage orange channel, and channel 2 being your modern red channel. As far as any features in the back, it's the same thing. It's got the same power switches and rectifier solid state switches that you know from any other rectifier. I really won't go in detail about every single thing that this amp does because you probably already know. So, but in terms of tone, like I said, it's got a little different flavor than other rectifiers that I've played. I really like it. It's a really good sounding amp. If you're an amp collector like myself or own a studio, owning one of these amps in your arsenal, it's essential, I believe. You can get some really good tones out of these amps. They're very versatile, despite being labeled to be just like a hard rock or heavy metal amp. You can get really, really nice tones. The clean channel is not the best, but you can get away with certain guitars. So there you have it. This is my late 1992 Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier Revision F. I've owned this thing for a few years now and I just love it. So I hope you've enjoyed this gear spotlight. If you're new to the channel, like as always, feel free to subscribe if you like 90s punk rock content and gear related stuff. Leave a comment down below, hit me with a couple likes. It helps the channel grow. So I hope you've enjoyed the video and I'll see you next time.